Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome.
Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. First and 10, here's Holadokin. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. The Bucs and Saints expected to possibly be the two to slug it out for the NFC South title in 2022. The Saints have had the Bucs number pretty much since the arrival of Tom Brady, at least in the regular season. They're 4-0 against Tampa Bay the last 2 seasons in the regular season. But remember, when Tampa won the Super Bowl, they did defeat New Orleans en route to that title.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Play action. Here's Holadokin.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
A nice throw right there. And Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
The Saints at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Go, Reed, go!
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 44, Holadokin.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Trying the left side with Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10
at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady looking for Godwin again, and he's got him once more. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Brady finding Godwin there for a Buccaneer first. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And some room to work. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Stop 60, stop 60.
Now Oladokin.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this one is that we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan.
And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
The LSU man Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That one caught out wide by Julio.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Brady now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Von Bell up to make the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Oladokin finding Taysom Hill complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
On the jump. Here's Ryan.
These 2 teams all tied after 1. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Oladoka to throw. He completes it to Olave.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned lastly they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets
the ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Fournette.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
They keep it with Fournette on first down. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, Leonard Fournette, not a guy to shy away from contact. He can lower the boom on you when he gets ahead of steam, and that was a heck of a run right there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now he'll throw with Brady. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick six.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Working from the gun, it's Brady.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Brady to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Brady going to go on 4th down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he's going to have the Bucs first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Well, this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Well, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Cameron Brate, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Bucs are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
Suck up for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, check that. Street. Dragon 60.
Oladokin looking to pass it. They'll get this out to Kamara. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Check, Bobcat.
It's Oladokin on first down.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Hadn't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
60 Bobcat.
Kamara up the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second down, it's Kamara again.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense? And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
First and 10, it's Robinson.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Brady.
They'll swing this out to Fournette.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On third down, Fournette.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Throwing on first down is Brady. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's Brady. And Brady has it over the middle. Touchdown! Cameron Brate. with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Buccaneers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And the lead is now 21-14. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Hurt. Right there, hurt. 79 Broncos.
From the shotgun, Oladokin. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Let's go. Check. 18, right here. With Ryan.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
19 tight. Panther street. Check mass.
Oladokin
Steps away. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down.
fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Touchdown, New Orleans!
And Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 21. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And Hall not going to bring this one out. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Brady. Completes it again to Gage. On the move past the 40. The 20. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady.
And the Bucs strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
2nd down and 3.
Hey, check that. Street. Mustang 19. Ready.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
Here we go. Strike. Three.
And it's intercepted.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. From the 35 on 2nd down, Brady. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Ready, set.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Oladokun. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game.
Cut 19. Cut 19.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now on 2nd and 13. Brady. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 3rd and long, it's Brady.
This one complete to Scott Miller.
He's at the 40. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone. Oh, a huge mistake late. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The slot man in motion right. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So some pressure now on the kicker, Ryan Succop. This to perhaps salt this one away.
Succop's kick is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Succop now set to kick it off following the made field goal. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time is going to run off the clock.
Ryan. Buffalo 18.
Oladokun.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Here's Oladokin.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
Okay, ready? Maverick.
Oladokin, desperation time on 4th.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. Charles, for this losing side, their heads are hanging as they walk off the field today. And really, I mean, we know why. Those 3 turnovers by that offense, that's ultimately what doomed them.
And this is what coaches preach all the time to every team that we ever talk with. Taking care of the ball on offense, trying to take it away on defense. And let's face it, when you give it away 3 times in one game, you make it very difficult for your team to get the W.
So for Tampa Bay, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.